עקיבא תורג'מן!
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm your host Amber. Today I want to introduce you a very beautiful Hebrew song. I got to know this song through one of my local Jewish lady friends. And she's going to explain this song throughout the whole process for you guys. So first off, what's the name of this song we're going to listen today?
The name of this song is תעזבי ידיים, which means, literally it means don't let go of the hands, but the meaning it's trying to say, like the meaning when you translate it is don't let go.
Don't let go. Okay. Who are those two singers?
Both of them are religious singers. Their names are Akiva Turgeman, which is the original singer of this song, and the second one is Ishai Ribo, which is a very popular singer in Israel right now. And
how old are they currently? Like their age?
They're around 29,
30.
30s,
Okay.
yeah, 30. Ishai Ribo said he really loves this performance, this song, and he had a performance and he wanted to sing this song together with the original artist, which is why we got this video.
Cool. Okay. So let's
עקיבא
hear it.
תורג'מן! ערב טוב! איזה יפים. אני מתרגש. תודה על הזכות. חלון לים, דירה הכי יפה בעיר, עוד מחכה למשהו שאת ליבך יאיר, ובינתיים בדידות מקיר אל קיר, ויום אחד את מחליטה שם לעזוב, רחוק לנסוע כדי להרגיש את הלב קרוב, מגיע לך כבר לאהוב.
So what he just did is like describing. It has like a really nice apartment. It has like a window, view. But even though she is like in the middle of the city where she's supposed to have a very like social life, and what he's implying is that she feels something is not right. She just decided to leave that beautiful, really great apartment.
She's like someone who looks fine on the outside, but deep inside in her heart, she doesn't find that peace in her heart, and she doesn't know what went wrong, and she's trying to figure it out. She's confused.
Yeah, exactly.
Lost.
Yeah, so
like a lot of us right now during the pandemic situation.
Yeah, the pandemic. He is playing with the Hebrew words.
Right.
Like he says she wants to drive far away, to go somewhere far away,
Right.
to feel her heart close. So
Right.
far away and close is like kind of messing with those lyrics.
Yeah.
Like,
Drive far away, be
find her
closer
heart,
to
her heart
own.
closer. Yeah.
קיר, ויום אחד את מחליטה שם לעזוב, רחוק לנסוע כדי להרגיש את הלב קרוב, מגיע לך כבר לאהוב. כמה חברים שצחקו לך, איך שוב ושוב הם מסבירים לך, את מחפשת דבר שלא קיים, מאחורי הגב אומרים את משוגעת, אבל בפנים אין שום ספק את כבר יודעת. בוודאי יש משהו, זה לא בשמיים, לא בסוף העולם, כמה טובות לפנייך, רק אל תעזבי ידיים, אל תעזבי ידיים.
like all the people, all your friends, like close friends,
Yeah.
they not laughed at you, but they just laughed about what you're saying, like what you're implying. You're looking for something that doesn't exist.
Are they suggesting her thinking too much?
Yeah, it's like we just live life. You don't need to think into it too much, right?
Just be easy.
Yeah,
Don't
and
think
then
that much.
like behind your back, like they laugh at you, and but in your heart, you know that you are looking for something that exists. You know.
Basically, that speaks to a lot of us.
Yes.
Because I think each one of us we have always been looking for something meaningful in life. However, it's sometimes it's hard for us to describe what is the thing we are looking for. And then a lot of times it's also very hard to explain to even your close friends around you.
And if you always feel like you're the weird one.
Yeah, you feel you don't fit into the crowd.
Yes, exactly. The lyrics I love the most in the song is זה לא בשמיים, לא בסוף העולם. So these lyrics, what they come to say. Okay, so the literal translation is, it's not in the sky, and not in the end, and it's not in the end of the world. In Hebrew, a lot of times when we want to say something is not impossible, we say זה לא סוף העולם, which means it's not the end of the world. Things, it's like זה לא סוף העולם, זה לא בשמיים. It's like it's not
in the end of the world.
Yeah,
it's very close to you.
It's much more reachable than you think, right?
So it's also quite encouraging, like to all of us that sometimes we think that we need to do something extra in order to reach the thing we have always been looking for. However, a lot of time in life, the thing we have been looking for, actually most of the time is maybe just very simple things that has been always around us.
True, sometimes you can find the meaning you're looking for very close.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
נכון שבלילות את מתבלבלת, סוגרת את הלב ושוב נופלת, והייאוש הולך ומתגבר. תדעי ששום דמעה שלך לא נאבדת, כל תפילה שלך את פותחת איזו דלת. נשמה רוצה להשתחרר, בוודאי ישנו שם. זה לא בשמיים, לא בסוף העולם. כמה טובות לפנייך, רק אל תעזבי ידיים, אל תעזבי ידיים. בוודאי ישנו שם. זה לא בשמיים, לא בסוף העולם. כמה טובות לפנייך, רק אל תעזבי ידיים, אל תעזבי ידיים.
So the second part I really like because he says that every prayer you pray, it opens a door. So, but you don't know when, you don't know where, you don't know how, but it opens it. So one day you will understand it. And also he says like, no tear of you get lost. Like every tear, it counts. Yeah,
it has meaning.
It has meaning.
Is this a kind of spiritual, like a song with a spiritual meaning? Is it? Because it actually made me think about. There's one verse from the Bible. The God of Israel, He make my tears at night. I have tears at night, but in the morning, my tears become laughter.
Sometimes we cry when we ask for things, and but our tears show our sincerity, and these tears don't get lost, especially if they're in a prayer. Let's say, for example.
I mean, me as a Christian, sometimes I cry and I pray, and we keep asking God. I think it's kind of very similar to what King David is feeling when he was like pursuing by the king's soul.
Yeah.
Like
when he
ran away. He wrote a lot of scriptures in the Book of Psalms about his own feelings, and oftentimes he would cry out to God. And yes.
Like for example in
Psalms. Psalms actually from the Psalms chapter 30.
Chapter 30. It says. בערב ירים בכי ובבוקר נע, which means in the evening he went to sleep crying, but in the morning he woke up happy
right? Laughter.
Happy.
But how could that happen? I think it's because that he put his trust in the God of Israel.
Yes.
Because I do feel as a human being, we all have limitations. No matter how much we try to believe that we can make it. But I have to say it as a personal experience. As I getting older, I really feel like the most untrustworthy person is me, myself, because I know how many times within the days I change my mind. How many times? Yes. So
the human mind is very, like, humans are very, like, they're very untrustworthy in the sense that they can always, like, change their personality, or like their thinking can change, like,
even from second to second.
Completely, exactly. But the only one who doesn't change is God.
Yes.
So in God you can always put your full trust in, because you know that no matter what he knows justice, and he doesn't, he's unbiased, and just like he doesn't deal with what we as humans deal with.
Yes,
right?
Because God is not human being. So we can put our faith, our trust in God's goodness, kindness, His righteousness, and His faithfulness. I think that's,
And then the next lyrics were כל תפילה שלך לא נאבדת, כל תפילה שלך בדקת תזדד, which means like every prayer that you pray, even if it doesn't get answered at that moment, it opens a door somewhere, like somewhere, sometime, it's there, the door is open, it's just like maybe now it's not the right time for you to go through it. So what he's saying is that no prayer that you pray goes to waste. God will always answer the way he thinks is right. And if God, you know, we always say in Judaism that if God thinks that, if we think something is right for us as humans, and we pray for it, if God thinks that this is not for us, he will not answer that prayer because it's better for you.
Well, I agree. I do agree. As a Christians, it's the same for us, because in the church we oftentimes hear the pastor say, or we hear the elderly from the church sharing their experience with the prayer. Oftentimes you hear people saying that a lot of times it seems like our prayer don't get answered. But sometimes you receive an answer from your prayer, but the outcome is different from what you thought, or even the timing is different from what you thought. So I think in this song, in this sentence from the lyrics, it's saying that and God doesn't live within the time frame that
we live in.
So in His time, everything will be fulfilled perfectly, completely in His time.
You know what it reminds me? It reminds me that in my high school, my teachers used to tell me all the time that in Judaism, just like in the Bible, we often see that the prophets or like everyone, they don't ask the question lama, they ask lema, which means
what is the difference between lama and lema?
So lama means why, lema means for what. They don't ask why, like God why. They always think for what. So what it makes them think about like
what's God's purpose?
Like the future. You don't think about like now, for example, why did God tell us to do this and this and this and this? We need to think the result, about the result, and like to always think forward. So even if our prayer doesn't they don't get answered now, maybe in the future we will realize why they didn't get answered.
Instead of asking why, you ask for what, which shows that through your prayer you are not just asking God why this happened, but you put the why into the secondary place. Actually, your primary prayer to God is you want to know how God's thinking. Get to know more about God instead of asking why it's not done in my way. I think,
True, and I also think that why is a very demanding question. If you say for what, it's much more humble, and it teaches you to
it makes people humble
and also to think of things in a wider perspective, because if you ask why, it's like you are demanding God question to answer you, and like it's like he needs to give you an excuse somehow,
or an answer or
not always, but usually when we say why, it's in a very complaining manner. So this is why I think to if you change your mindset to think more about like in another perspective about your prayers, then I think in general you will just be happier, because you will get to like think about things in a manner that is much more positive, right? Like maybe there is a reason, maybe I'm just not in the right time now, it's not the right thing for now, and so on.
Very good, beautiful.
זה לא בשמיים, לא בסוף העולם. כמה טוב עוד לפנייך, רק אל תעזבי ידיים, אל תעזבי ידיים.